Hey, how's it going, everyone? Nick Bovey here. I've got a story slash confession slash how-to video today. If you read the title, you know that I, in fact, dropped my phone in the toilet. So I'm going to tell you how it happened and what to do about it when it does happen. If it happens to you, when it happens to you. Chances are, if you're a person that has a phone or a smartphone or a device of any sort that you take with you to the restroom, there's a good chance that you're going to have an experience similar to this one. Now, when I use the restroom, if I'm using my phone, I am like anaconda squeeze on that thing because I don't want it to fall in. I've had it happen to so many people, and I've always thought, gosh, how do people do this? How do people drop their phone in the toilet? Because when I'm in the bathroom, I just sit there and I'm like, I cannot, I'll just hold on to it, or I'll keep it in my pocket, or just not even mess with it. I'm just very careful about making sure it doesn't fall in. So, that said, let me tell you how it happened to me and what I'm going to do about it now. I was in the bathroom, I had my headphones in, plugged into my phone, and actually I've got my phone in my right pocket right now. It was actually in my left pocket when it happened. I was wearing this jacket. That was problem number one. Wearing this jacket, I had it, I guess, zipped up to here, right? So let's walk through the motions. I walk up to the toilet, I'm getting adjusted, taking the necessary actions to get into position. If you're a gentleman, I think you know exactly what I'm talking about. For the ladies, I'm sure there is a similar situation, getting just in position, you know how it goes. And as I'm doing that, I'm trying to fiddle with my belt, and somehow my phone gets to this point where it's kind of sticking out like that, and it makes the transition of here to here, and then it does that thing where it's just flipping. My headphones are all plugged into it, so I just watch it, and there's this dramatic no kind of like, oh my god, moment where it's just falling, and as soon as it hits seriously, as soon as it hits the water, my reflexes just it's a good thing that there wasn't, thankfully it was pre-use. There was no yellow mellowing, there was no brown that hadn't been flushed down. I just went for it, I reached in as fast as I could. It's still wet, and I'm like, oh my gosh, I can't believe this finally happened to me, because I've always thought, how do people do this? That is how. I was careless, I wasn't thinking, man, I need to always, seriously, now I think from now on, I either won't carry my phone with me into the bathroom, or I am going to be even more careful about, okay, where's the phone, just so that this doesn't happen, because it's unfortunate that it happens. And I'm hoping I'm not talking too fast about it, I'm still stirred up in the heat of the moment, in the action. So here's what I would recommend you do if this happens to you. The very first thing that I did, even before washing my hands, is I took the phone and I powered it down as fast as I could. I had a case on it, I took the case off, I held the power button down, I was sitting here, trying to get the touchscreen to work. It wasn't, so I was kind of drying it off. I had paper towels I was trying to dry it off with. I held the power button and the home button down, and that actually reset the system, so it didn't shut it down all the way. So I finally got it to a point where it's dry enough to where I could actually touch the screen and turn it off. Now, when you have a phone that has water in it, depending on how long your phone was in there, it's possible that water seeped in through all of the, there's a lot of holes that it could seep through. When that happens, if the water goes into one of those holes and gets on the electrical components, if there is power going through those components, and let's say it's a certain amount of power going to one component, there's water that's actually causing the electricity to jump to a different component, that means that there is electricity flying around everywhere in your phone, and it can actually burn out your unit. So it's very important to make sure that your phone is turned off ASAP in order to keep those units from frying themselves and keep the electricity going where it needs to go. So I turned it off as fast as I could, and next thing I did was I washed my hands, because that's obviously disgusting, because it's a public restroom. It's not fun to say I just reached my hand into into a place where people's fluids go. Like, that's kind of gross, but I did it anyway. So I had to accept my hand as a casualty of the situation. Washed my hands with warm soapy water. Next thing I'm going to do is I've got these disposable wipes, and I just want to make sure that the phone is clean. So I'm going to go ahead and clean the outside of it, because like I said, that's disgusting that there's actually nasty pee water and whatever, who knows what kind of water in here. So getting some of that antibacterial disinfectant wipes to clean out the outside of it. These are like super moist wipes for some reason. So next thing I would say to you is get yourself, if you don't, some people actually keep these around. The silica gel packets from the shoe boxes are excellent for this type of situation. If you've read most every single life hack out there, most every single person that talks about phones getting dropped in water says, hey, keep a few silica gel packets around, those little packets you get in the shoebox, put them in a bag, that way, or a bowl. That way when you have a device situation, you put it in the bowl, it stays there, and then you don't have to worry about it, it just dries out. But a lot of you aren't going to have that. So the second technique, which is also a life hack, is a bag of rice. Now, I'm just going to take, one thing I like to point out is, up here is where all of your ports are. Rice gets trapped in these really easily. So just be very gentle in making sure that you don't accidentally force some rice into those ports. It's okay for the rice to get kind of in there because it's going to happen and you can get it out pretty easily, but you don't want rice getting jammed inside the ports. So I'm going to zip that up, flip the phone over just to make sure that it's kind of covered in the rice. And then I'm going to just leave this for a period of time. That's the passive way of doing it. The other way would be to actually open it up and take a look. For the iPhone 6 owners, there's 2 screws on the bottom. If you have a Pentalope screwdriver, which if you have one of those, you probably have worked on your phone or worked on a phone before, you can just open it up, kind of pry it open to give it some air. I wouldn't put rice in it at that point. I would just use that to kind of give it some air, and maybe use a hairdryer on cool setting and just kind of blow it out, see if you can get it to kind of, I guess dry out on the inside. Chances are, if your phone has been submerged in water, there probably isn't moisture unless you left, unless it was sitting there for a long time. Like if you dropped it in a pool, it might be a different situation because you actually have to go in and get it. So it's probably, the pressure, water pressure and everything actually pushed a lot of water into it. If you just dropped it in the toilet, chances are there's only water in the immediate areas where water can enter. So if you open your phone, there's probably not going to be much you can see in the way of moisture, because if it's in there, it's underneath, the boards or, something else. So I'm going to let this sit for a while. I would say to be safe, you should let it sit for 12 hours before firing it up. I'd be very careful, though, when you're thinking about firing it back up. If it seems like there's any chance that there could be moisture in there, I would hold off, just let it sit, because you might be thinking, well, how do I live without my phone now? Yes, but if you run it with water in it and it completely burns out your device, you're going to be wondering, how am I going to get a new phone, or you're going to have to make an upgrade a lot sooner than I think you would want to. So those are my tips on what to do if you're in this situation. Like I said, I'm also, I guess, I was kind of shocked it happened because I've had a perfect streak of not breaking phones. Like, I've never broken glass on a phone before. I've fixed tons of broken digitizers, is what they're called, the glass that kind of is on the surface of your phone. So I've never seen how people do it, but I've also never dropped a phone in the toilet or gotten a phone wet to the point where it was submerged in water. And so it's a first, I guess there's a first for everything. And so this is me publicly announcing to the world that I dropped my phone in the toilet. I never thought it would happen, and it did. So if you are a phone user, just be careful. Next time you go to the bathroom, just be more careful. Pay attention to it. If it's in, I would honestly, I don't think I'm going to keep it in my phone pocket anymore, because that could have just as easily been the ground, and it could have just ruined, shattered the phone, and then I'd have another perfect streak that was ruined. So that's it. That's pretty much all I wanted to talk about. I hope that the video is helpful for people that are in this situation. If you found this video just because you were looking for how to deal with this situation if you dropped your phone in the toilet, I hope that this is super helpful for you. For everyone else who's just tuning in, I hope this was an entertaining story and a good reminder of why you got to be more careful in the bathroom. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you later.